I believe let's start. Paco, Baba, try to objections.
Yeah, let's kick it off. Let's kick it off. Give everyone kind of the high level of the call today, and then we can jump into our special guest right away.
Yeah, sure thing, sure thing. So, guys, today we're gonna be discussing the following things. First, we're gonna get a brief update on a couple of bug tank things from Zona. We're also gonna touch upon the sandbox vote. Uh, I can actually give the update on that right away. The voting officially ends tomorrow. This is the very first snapshot vote that we introduced as part of the Dog DAO, the inaugural snapshot vote. Yeah, voting officially ends tomorrow, but by the looks of it, it's pretty much a lock. It will go through. Once again, thanks to everybody who participated in this voting. Like, this is what it's all about: like community participation, community ownership. Super grateful for you guys for participating in that vote and pushing it through. We're in for a treat with that one. I mean, all the games that are gonna get developed, like this stuff is gonna stick and it's gonna rock. Following that, we have an update on the Anubis DAO. We have a couple of things to say on that front. Sharks will also chime in. General idea is to share our learnings and thank you guys for the feedback that you've been providing on that front. After all this, and after our special guest has talked to you guys, we're gonna have a super special and exclusive presentation by Paco on memes, symbols, governance, and why it's important to participate in projects like Doge. This, I believe, is gonna be the ultimate learning experience for each and every one of you, and another opportunity to hear another god among men, aka Paco. But without further ado, I want to introduce our special guest. So his name is James. He's from Hype.Partners. There has been a lot of talk around Discord and also internally about hiring a marketing slash community agency to help us drive further growth. And we actually found, or we believe that we found the perfect fit for that, which is Hype.Partners. Hype.Partners is not your typical marketing agency. Like, they do things like differently with an exclusive focus on community. But yeah, I'll let James dive deeper into that later. So what is gonna happen with Hype.Partners? We're gonna open up a snapshot for voting whether we should work with Hype.Partners on the marketing front. Obviously, you guys are incentivized to. You guys should vote on that. Like, we want you to also like Hype, but I'm sure that you're gonna be able to make the decision yourselves after you hear more from James. So yeah, James, do you wanna give a brief intro, tell people who you are, and tell us more about how Hype approaches marketing and community?
And let me pop in here too for a sec. And I guess while I'm doing that, Steph, maybe you can double check that James can share a presentation in this channel. Um, but yeah, I just want to like kind of give some more context to Hype and us bringing them onto the call today and our thinking around scaling up the dog community and continuing to create a really incredible experience and hopefully a lot more surprises and interesting things and deeper, rewards for the community, as well as like growing this community larger and making one of the most powerful, meme, fractionalized communities out there. Like, I think there's a lot more we can do. We're still very young. And that's kind of the thinking that the core team has had over the past month, where we've been talking to 20 to 30 different folks in the Web3 space that focus on community, growing communities, marketing, being thoughtful around creating a community experience. And with throughout all these conversations, I think we kind of started to whittle down, narrow who we thought could be really helpful to provide more resources for the dog community. And that's kind of where Hype Partners bubbled to the top, and James And so we're really excited. I know James he's on European time, so we don't have him long. But I thought it'd be good to have him come on and chat with everybody. And there'll be him and some of the other people at Hype will be in the community and probably like in like the general chat. If you have other questions, kind of post call, but feel free to ask questions now, and James can kind of give a little bit brief on like the story about Hype and all the great clients they've worked with within Web3 and kind of their thoughts about the dog community too. And hopefully in within the time of that intro, we've got you the presentation set up.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so much for the full introduction. Just wanted to say thank you for having me here. So this is a pretty new concept. For us, like we're a Web3 marketing agency. We were founded in 2017. Since then, we've worked on around 100 projects. We have a team of 90 people spread out globally, and I'm currently managing director at Hype. So I'm talking to new projects, helping with like lots of different client projects, hiring new people, and a bit about my personal background. I was started off marketing around 9 years ago, worked for a fintech company in London. Didn't really like that so much, so I started working in crowdfunding, set up an agency to do crowdfunding for Kickstarter, Indiegogo projects. That went pretty well. Then in 2016, I saw the Ethereum crowd sale, which was obviously kind of crazy. It was like, I think it was 100 million or something, huge. Kind of started to dig into like what Ethereum was. I was pretty blown away about basically how smart everyone who was working on Ethereum was. So I dug into Ethereum through like 2017, 2018, started playing around with early DeFi projects, getting involved with a few of those, and then launched a DeFi first agency. That went pretty well through to like beginning of this year when I was brought in to Hype. Then became managing director at Hype. And I mean, our aim is just to work with pretty much the most interesting projects. We've worked with quite a few projects that are in the top 100 on CoinMarketCap, and we've done everything from build out their early communities to run campaigns, create creative campaigns, build different assets for them, so websites, experiences, videos, content. And we see like a huge opportunity to work with dog community to basically try and we're like, we can be a resource, and we want to essentially help like make more of these community ideas come to life. And we want to pitch the community ideas that we have, things that we've seen working well in the industry, crazy concepts, creative things. We want to pitch them, to you, the community, and if you say, yeah, that's awesome, let's do it. Or someone might have an idea, but there aren't the resources, then we can kind of come in and hopefully help bring that to life. So that's how we would envision this working. And I do have a deck to show you, but I'm not sure I can present it at the moment.
Yeah, we're trying to figure this out, but we also have a PDF that you can maybe drop in general, and then I think like everybody can just open it so we're all on the same page.
Yep, I can do that.
Amazing. But
I just
if
made
any,
you a moderator, James, of this channel. Do you now have the option to present?
Um,
I'll be honest, I don't know where it would be either. I've never done that before.
Yeah, there should be one option to share the presentation at the bottom, but I don't see it on mine either. So I'm just not sure if it's
Maybe
something
that's
with
a
this
stage
channel.
feature.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah,
Technology.
it might be an issue with it being a stage versus a video chat, although
Okay.
I'm not
Well,
sure.
what I have seen people do before is paste frames in the chat channel as they're talking about it, and then just like those images are what people are looking at. But
Yep. Which channel do you want me to post in? Agora chat or general chat?
yeah, let's use Agora chat.
Okay, awesome. Cool. So let me just get this set up. Okay. This is a bit fiddly. 1 moment.
Yeah. No worries. We probably could have tested this ahead of time, so our bad.
Maybe I should post the presentation.
Yeah, I think that's easy enough. And then you can kind of like just self-guide us through it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to be a better way to do it. Don't know if so I'm going to post a link to the Google sheet, the Google file.
Can you hear me, guys?
I'm making it public.
Hello?
I can hear
Yeah,
you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can also just move to Bark chat, which is, open. We're gonna have to ask everyone to mute, but open voice chats allow for screen sharing.
Presentations there.
Yeah, if it's gonna be easier, so we don't waste time.
I think it might be easier, to move to Bark
Okay.
chat.
Okay.
Let's do that.
You heard the man, everyone. Please move and mute your.
Bird's already there.
Everybody move!
See you in Bark.
All right.
Right on.
Mute, 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 mute. Oh God. Oh God. Boodum, boodum, boodum.
Can you hear me, Bach?
I can. Yeah.
Cool.
Still at 50 people in the other channel. That's quite funny. James, are you able to present here?
Yes. I just had
Do
to
it.
change the settings, but yeah, I believe that's good. So
Okay, sweet.
go
Now we can
live.
watch the stream. Yeah, that does work. Okay, sweet. Now let me go tell them that it's working.
Awesome.
All right. Everyone seems to be moving over. Still have some people in Agora. I can see the presentation, James.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think as many people as possible have moved over at this point. So let's go for it.
Sweet. So yes, here we go. So firstly, I'm gonna apologize for like the way that stuff's not like perfectly centered. I'm like not great at that. And my designer was he did like his frame, but yeah, he just left me to put the content in, and yeah, I couldn't handle that task. So sorry if it's a bit all over the place. So yeah, this is introduction for Hype. Some of the projects we've worked with, the communities we've worked with. So our like concept or idea is like we want to help scale the community by building kind of a way to bring in more people. So we're calling it scaling a community first growth machine. And there are 3 main concepts we're focusing on. So the first one, like 2 main kind of KPIs. So the first one is to increase just general awareness of Dog Token and the Doge NFT. The second is to grow the community by supporting community first experiences. So these might be ideas that the community has or concepts that we present and people think are great or want to change, and yeah, all that kind of stuff. And then the third one is to empower the whole ecosystem with resources that we can basically use to build campaigns that will positively impact the dog community. So like if we work together, the community can think of having its own agency that they can then request content, videos, all these extra things that people might want to do, but might not have the time or resources to do. We can be the ones to, get that work delivered. So this basically comes down to us splitting work into 5 areas. So the first is helping create like a world-class creative campaign. I'll dig into all these in a bit. Second one is growth marketing. Third one is helping around like launches, so launch announcements and amplification of those. Number 4 is creating educational content. Number 5 is community campaigns, working with everyone here on those. So just for the timeline, like we can potentially start at the end of the month, so that's in 1 week. Then we would aim to get a creative campaign launched at the beginning of January. Then user growth and engagement campaigns could actually start next week, and community campaigns could launch in mid-December, so in around 3 weeks. The resources, so we would expect for this project that we'd have like 15 to 20 Hype team members, and that would run across creative, growth, community, and content. So when we think of like building a campaign for a client, we, especially in like Web3 and crypto blockchain, it's like there's so much going on that you like creating one campaign, it's not enough. So we often try and create like a theme. So an overall like umbrella campaign, which all other activities can live under. So that theme could be like a meme. It could be a time of year. Like for example, Solana had Solana Summer. It could be like, a concept like this. And then overall create a concept. We try and work on loads of other different smaller things that can happen, and all fit under that creative concept. So the way that would work is we would like think of the kind of communities we want to target with a creative campaign. Then we'd pitch ideas here to all of you, see what you think. Then we go away and develop like the assets for those ideas. Then build out a distribution strategy. So what channels are we going to use? to basically make sure that that creative campaign is seen by a lot of people, and then launch it. Growth marketing is something we've done for a long time. This is basically where we develop narratives and we share them across the internet, the cryptosphere. So we have a team, and their sole job is basically to communicate how great DOG is across platforms like Twitter, Reddit, 4chan. Anytime there's an announcement, they'll make sure that's shared across those platforms. They'll make sure there's discussion around those different announcements. It could be events, it could be anything. It's basically a way to amplify any messages, any cool things that happen. The growth team are focused on that. Launch announcement amplification. So we would aim to basically help develop like assets and strategies around any like activities that are going on within the community. Maybe it's within, with people from PleaserDAO, their partners, us, so we can effectively market any of the cool stuff which is happening in the community and make sure it gets maximum distribution across all channels. So that could be, pushing things toward influencers or towards the press, packaging that up nicely so they can then share that content on. The next, I think this is one of the last pillars. This was, number 5. So creating educational content. Obviously, we all know that like crypto is fairly daunting. Buying first tokens is still like a bit of a hurdle for people. So we work on creating an educational content strategy, which people can, basically use to learn more about the community, learn more about how to get involved, learn more about how to buy the token. Maybe that's like building up video assets, content. Maybe it's doing campaigns. But essentially, the core focus is to create an educational strategy and then get a content team to work the community to create that content. For example, we had a lot of thoughts around, the easiest way to buy DOG. What is it? Maybe that's on Arbitrum right now because, there's pretty much negligible gas. Maybe it's still on Ethereum through a wallet, which might have a rebate, things like that. Like, what can we do to make that experience better? And what educational content can we create around that? So the process is pretty much like us going out and testing all our ideas. We'll test lots of different things across different audiences when it comes to growth. We'll report back on that every 30 days on the work we're doing and the things we plan for the next month. So I guess in a similar way to this call, we would bring a presentation and we would show you, these are the 10 initiatives we've worked on. These are the things we've done with different community members, and this is where we're at. And the fee is, what we're requesting is a 12-month contract for 0.75% of the supply, paid monthly with a 30-day advanced termination clause. So that essentially means the contract can be ended with 30 days notice. Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you, James. We did get some questions in chat, and MK Ultra Dog says thanks, that was awesome. Yarma Lenko asked, what are the projects you're working with at the moment? If I don't know whether you can like say that or not on agreements, but if you want to mention any of them, go for it.
Yeah, so I can mention, so we have these projects at the top of the page. that we've been working with, we keep things fairly private about the type of work we do. But yeah, we've worked with Algorand for around, I think, nearly 2 years now. We've worked with Nia. We've done a lot of creative work for them. We previously worked with Harmony, Chili's, Ledger. We've worked with a load of other projects as well.
Nice, big names.
So yeah, we're pretty comfortable like with managing large communities and delivering like mini campaigns, quests, all these things to essentially help people get engaged, make people have fun, or not make people have fun, but enable people to have fun.
You better have fun, damn it.
Yeah, exactly. Enable people to have fun.
But to let people have fun, absolutely.
Yeah, but I think the main difference with like the way we think this would work is like we want to work with everyone here to create ideas, and then maybe we go away and we'd like put them into a presentation, and then we pitch them back to everyone here, and people are going to say, yeah, that's awesome, that's terrible, we should do that. And then maybe there are resources within the community, but maybe it's something we need to go away and spend 2 months creating. Like we might need to create a mini website, or who knows what we need to do. And we're pretty excited about just basically doing really, really, really big things. So kind of thinking, what's the biggest, most impactful things we can do? Yeah,
I quite like that model of taking input from the community, letting that collective intelligence do its creativity and brainstorming, and then refining that given your history as a marketing expert, and then presenting it back and doing that SYN act. If you're familiar with like networking, it's like, hey, did you get this? Yeah, we got that. And so like everyone's on the same page. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. Yeah, I think we have a lot of great ideas that we've constantly been seeing, a lot of opinions and thoughts and good ideas for the community, from the community, and as well as like the team. And so I think that would be a really cool way to bring that engagement, and we can vote on things and survey, and like, yeah, I think that'll be really fun to see how that evolves over time with the brainstorming component.
Yeah. To combine two questions, one from Calf Money and a follow-up from Yarmolenko. Have you done any marketing work for decentralized projects that you're particularly proud of? Slash, if you have any centralized project history that you're proud of, that's cool to hear as well. And then Yarmolenko adds, have you ever, like your past history there is big names that are all serious projects. Have you ever worked with a meme project before? And author's note, meme projects are serious too.
So things we're proud of. Yeah, we're pretty much proud of nearly every project we've worked with. I know that's kind of a bit of a lame answer to say that, but I mean, the reason like our team work on Web3 projects is because they find them interesting. And yeah, we're not doing this for, I don't know, for whatever reasons. We're all doing this because we believe in the space. We believe that decentralized communities are the future. They're way more interesting, way more cool stuff can happen with them, and we want to support their growth. We worked on a campaign recently for a project called Cello. They are a layer 1 blockchain. It was called DeFi for the people, and essentially
I heard of that, yeah.
They do DeFi for mobile phones. So it's like, mobile first DeFi. And we created like really beautiful website assets. They brought in loads of big partners like Sushi Swap, Aave, Curve, all these different projects together, 0x. And that was like I think it's like a 6-month campaign. And it performed like extremely well, and kicked off their whole DeFi ecosystem. So that was really nice, like a recent one that we worked on. And Yeah, I can't remember the meme. So working with meme projects. Great question. We haven't worked on a specific meme project, no. So we haven't worked with any other. We haven't worked with anything like Shiba or Doge, no. So this is something new for us as well.
Nice. Yeah, I heard of the CeeLo campaign. So that's it's kind of cool to see the loop closed. I'm like, yeah, I know about that. Some more questions in chat is, what are the different metrics that you think we're looking at? Like, what are the ones that you track in general, and then you think make the most sense for the dog project?
Yeah, absolutely. So the key things would be around like community growth, engagement, across Discord, but then also across like the social channels. So across Twitter, for example, as well. So we have like two different types of metrics. We'd have like external metrics, which would be like numbers, and then internal metrics, which would be things like, do we think the quality of the community is growing? Maybe it's kind of qualitative, but we can kind of tell, right? Like how many projects have been proposed by the community? How many projects have been shipped in a month's time by the community or by us enabling the community? And it's something we'd want to establish within the first month, like what are our success metrics? And yeah, for us, they're mainly community focused metrics.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, especially since for a meme coin, like obviously price is the number, but realistically you can't just like make number go up. And so health of the community seems like a actually more accurate representation. Yeah,
Like,
that makes a lot of sense.
like, yeah, I mean, you know, yeah, saying price going up is obviously an aim, but that's that's secondary to if the community grows and we do loads of awesome stuff, then we believe that will naturally follow. And yeah, the core focus like is keeping the quality high.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a lot of discussion about pricing and the cost of marketing and stuff like that. Can you talk about how y'all arrive at like the rate that you charge, and talk about the larger context? Because like we talked with a lot of people on the side, and we've seen some crazy pitches from teams who are like, give us 20%, 10% of your token supply type thing. And the cool thing about Hype is that y'all seem really, really competent and also extremely reasonable. But would like to hear more context, and also the chat was interested more background.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're focused on like getting a part of getting paid firstly in tokens, and secondly we want to become like a key part of the community. So we want to basically build up tokens in the projects we work with. We believe tokens are the future, and we want to be active participating in governance and things like that. So for example, if we were asking for a tiny amount of the token supply, it might make sense. I mean, we are asking for like overall a small amount, but it is a significant number in dollars. But it's like a stake that we believe we can work for. We believe it will, overall, our work will bring a lot of value to the community, and us having like a stake in the project like that will, be a massive incentive for us to continue doing great work and
Totally.
being part of it.
Yeah, I mean the logic is quite reasonable, right? Like y'all are now stakeholders. You have a what's that called? Skin in the game. And then if the pie is grown based on the work you've done, everybody wins. It's a WAGMI kind of perspective there.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, that's the reason why we're keen to just get tokens. And yeah, we think the community is awesome, and hopefully we can grow up together with everyone. And that's the aim.
Sweet. I don't see any more questions in Gore chat. Let me quickly peek in general.
There's one more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's why you wear a dog before when marketing discussions. Good question. Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to get into Pleaser DAO, but I think I missed it by like one day. So I've been trying to get in some way since. Maybe one day I'll be cool enough. Who knows?
I wouldn't make it a cool thing. But yeah, that'd be so cool. I did not know that story. A friend of mine also had a similar story where they were like, "Yo, Jameis DM'd me, and I was just busy, and I didn't answer that DM until too late." And I'm like, "Ah, man." But yeah, thanks so much. Some more questions actually coming in right now from Chakarado. Maybe do you talk about failures and what you learned? Yeah, that's a pretty good question. Like, what are some marketing related campaigns that you've done that didn't work out the way you expected? And like, what are the takeaways from that? And I bet there was a lot of those coming from like central, like Web 2 based marketing into Web 3.
Yeah, biggest failures. So I think with every project we work with, like stuff goes wrong, right? Like that's just natural.
Oh yeah.
And we're all like pioneering these new technological projects, and yeah, stuff just goes wrong. And we like sometimes you don't know what to do in the situation when something goes wrong, but like at the end of the day, the answer is just be really transparent and just let everyone know everything that's happening as fast as possible. So yeah, that's one main thing we've learned from basically taking too much time to like figure out what the problem is with the client. Maybe and the community might be asking like, "Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on?" We're like, "Hey, we're just trying to get to the bottom of this, and then we'll let everyone know." We've learned that it doesn't work. You just have to tell everyone what's happening as you're learning new information and be as transparent as possible. Yeah, I think
that makes a lot of sense.
Another thing which is difficult is like a lot of projects come to us and they say like, "Hey, we want to have like 100,000 people in Telegram," and we're like, "Do you know how it's not good? That's a bad thing." Like it's possible, but it's not a like having 100,000 people just asking one token in a Telegram is not like good for anyone. So yeah, we've had to manage communities like that before, and they haven't done well long term because the quality of the discussion has been low.
I'm sorry, you may have answered this previously, but something that I would like to know is like, how do you see marketing for a coin that has like it's very multifaceted in terms of like what it represents as a fractionalized NFT. So we have like an NFT community, we have a meme coin community, we have an ETH community, a BSC community. Like, what does it look like to show that it's a social token too, but gives all the composability that you have with mainnet, and just how you can just build cool shit with the pixels you have.
Yeah, I think that's awesome as a concept, and yeah, I think there can be loads of cool stuff that can be done around that. I mean, I think we need to dig into it way more. I think it's the concept is really special, but it's really like for our creative team to pull out some ideas for how we can play around with them. I know like there are already some ideas around how to use the pixels. If that's right, to like show what pixel you own.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, was that a question to me?
Yeah, I was just asking.
Oh,
I saw ideas around the pixels already being mentioned in the community. So-
Yes. So yeah, the part of our Bark Tank initiative is actually the first project we had approved and is building currently right now, is a chance to actually put your dog back into a portal, which will let you redeem a pixel from the original, resolution picture. So you get to visualize and harness an actual piece of the photo, which is a very cool concept, because I think a lot of people, when they envision owning the meme, they own a part of the photo, part of the NFT, and so a visual representation is just a nice flex, something that's like in your wallet instead of a token balance, and then other, just other just other features that can come with being able to stake your dog, where we can kind of use that as a way to drop other exclusives or airdrops to stakers or pixel holders, so to speak. So yeah, there's just a lot of benefits to being able to be a quote unquote pixel holder and to actually feel like you are one.
I have to jump off, but yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much, everyone, for having me. And I'll be hanging out. A few of the Hype team will be hanging out in Discord. So yeah, really happy to answer any questions people have. And yeah, super excited
Thank you,
to
James.
potentially work together. And yeah,
Appreciate it, James. I think,
Thanks, James.
and I'll try to surface some of the feedback. I'm like reading what everyone's writing, and feel free to like DM me anything too. Like it's like there's definitely some good thoughts there, and some good things to circle back to you to Hype, and then we can iterate on the proposal and come back next week. So I think a lot of great ideas. Like keep sharing them and share them with me or anyone on the community team.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good evening.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
And we'll give James a role too that shows that he's part of the Hype team. So, and any else of their team members that are dropping in to answer any questions, you'll be able to pick them out real easily, so that we can get some engagement going and they can answer any questions that you have. So that'll happen later.
Okay, guys, there is also a pop naturally for this call as well, but Zona, I believe we're gonna have to move back to the Agora if we want people to
No.
claim their pops. No?
No, well, I think I found a way to configure, like what I did was I ended the I basically told the POAP bot, or the degen bot, to close the first part of like the tracking and had it start to track in the Bark Tank, or sorry, the Bark chat voice channel. So that's going live. So let's just all stay in here, and the degen bot will create a new list of attendees. So yeah, apologies for that. But that's we had to do on the fly, so that the presentation could be shown from James.
Oh, no worries, man. No worries at all. No need to apologize. Thank you again for securing the pop. And by the way, shout out to Spencer from Pleaser. I don't know if he's on the call right now, but yeah, he is. He created an amazing Thanksgiving themed pop. Like, you guys are gonna love that one. Yeah. Okay, so I think it makes sense for us to pick up where we left off. We have a couple of updates to share with you all before the Paco presentation on memes, symbols, and why it's important to participate in similar projects. So the Anubis DAO airdrop that we proposed this week. There are 4 to 5 days left on that proposal, on that snapshot proposal. And we just want to thank you guys for all the feedback we've been getting. We obviously see the results, and the goal overall was to like airdrop this to a small targeted community and to airdrop it to a community that like matches our vibe. So we thought that Anubis are the perfect guys for that. We thought that they checked all the boxes. So that was one of the reasons why we submitted that proposal. Yeah, in the future, like we want to be more communicative on that front, rather than just tell you that there's a proposal like this coming out of the blue. But yeah, I think like Shrugs also has a couple of words to share on that front and like explain our whole reasoning and thinking behind it. Yeah, just tell you guys like why we decided to go forward and propose this vote to you.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you covered the important parts, which was that, yeah, the intention obviously good. The way we went about it was not very DAO ethos, and I'll put that on me because I'm coming from the sort of highly efficient, fast-moving team that we were before, and not fully internalizing this whole DAO direction that we are now in. And so I was just trying to get it out the door because we had talked about it for a little bit, and we were like, yeah, we should do an airdrop, Anubis. Like, there's this charity component, and it feels good. It's also small, so we don't give away so much dog, and it's also a bunch of people more likely to keep it, minimize sell pressure. So I was like, now's the time to do it, and just shipped it. And the reason we did the snapshot, of course, is because we were like, well, this is quite a bit of money. It'd be good to ask the community what they think. But the way that we went about that was fast and came off as out of touch. So yeah, lesson learned. We'll be much more communicative in the future, and yeah, I shouldn't expect anything like that in the future, especially since the airdrop was sort of a surprise in general. Everything else is going to be much more planned. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
And I think it's, and I think it's an evolving process, right? Like, I don't think there's not this concept, of perfection in the world, right? And I think we're trying to, we're trying to come at this with a community first ideal and figure out how we can, continue to make this, collaboratively build this while still giving some leadership and direction. And over time, move towards more community empowerment. But we're just at the beginning of that. We're just kind of playing around with like, how do we pull in more folks and empower the community here to be able to make decisions and guide the community and share their ideas. And I think that probably the number one way that we can, build this together is to continue to get feedback. So appreciate everyone like always like sharing ideas and thoughts. And I think it'd be, we want to continue to get that. So whether it's, you're sharing it direct with somebody on the core team or, with me, or you're coming to, maybe we can even have like some mini breakout calls with like, for people in the community to share ideas around how they believe and see like we should grow and scale the community, as far as the members number, but also like how do we grow and deepen the community experience and make this kind of crazy, like, friends with benefits, wacky uncle Willy Wonka thing that we're trying to envision. And, just like the Bark Tank, right? Like empower people in the community to then empower the community to then help us build awareness and like keep that cycle going, that kind of flywheel going of empowerment, and building and having these stories of like these crazy things that are coming out of the community, right? Like people building, puppets with world-class puppet builders and pixel projects that are, help actually, tighten the connection to the art that you own with your token. And like, there's just a lot of like amazing ideas already. And I think that's and that's all come from the community. So we're just trying to find more mechanisms, and more of a cadence and increase communication and increase empowerment. And but we're very open to the ideas and want to hear what everyone has to say and like try to implement some of these things.
Indeed.
Speaking of puppets, I believe we have a Bark Tank update on that front.
Yeah, so that puppet proposal that I brought up in our last Discord call, now is approved and is being funded right now, because it was a project that was under the $50,000 threshold that we could go ahead and just streamline that. So the guy behind the project, he is now hitting the ground running, and his timeline is to pretty much get everything ready to go by Christmas in terms of building out the puppet, making some cool promo videos, making some NFTs out of the photo shoot, and being able to airdrop it to some really deserving community members, and maybe even we end up getting this we got a mock-up of the design to finally get us bullish on what the puppet would look like, and the design is so cool itself that we're saying that needs to be minted as well, or somewhere where you can hang it up, because it's just really dope. So just having like ideas like that to just be able to have that charitable angle where it's going to a theater that really got rocked with COVID, is like, so it's almost like a donation, but also getting like some really cool value out of having Doge live, in real life, and in a wacky, unique, medium where it's, it just ties in another form of art into Doge, and it just seems like it really it really folds into everything that the Doge NFT stands for.
Amazing. I really want to see those puppets. Hopefully in real life as well. That's gonna be a show. Yeah. Wrapping up on the update, I think we've covered everything, guys. Just looking at the agenda here, if anybody wants to jump in with anything that we might have missed, please feel free. But I think we've covered everything.
Yeah, I mean, other than, I think you've already mentioned that another Bark Tank proposal was the Sandbox Doge boarding game. Voting ends tomorrow, and it's gonna pass with flying colors at this point. So once that snapshot voting ends, we're going to greenlight the funding, and then they can go and start building, which will probably be at least 8 weeks to build. But just keep your eyes peeled for that. Also, another thing was so the Pixel Portal project. I've been told there's going to be a teaser coming out soon. Maybe Cold Plunge can talk more about that, but it's kind of like a teaser before the teaser. But I heard it's involving a probably even someone you've seen on CT. He's like really good meme maker, and I think pretty excited to see like what this video ends up looking like.
God damn, Plunge! Like, tell us, man.
Yeah. Hey guys. Yeah, we do. So I have seen a little sneak peek of the trailer, and it's the idea was just to get some kind of little short video out there that we can hopefully spread around Twitter, and just get more eyes on the project. And usually the best way to do that is by making people laugh. So I wanted to find somebody who has made funny videos in the past, and so ETA is to be determined on when we're going to put that out. I think from talking with the squad right now, we're thinking that we're going to wait to put it out until we have like a set date for launch on the Pixel project, which so that way at the end of the little teaser vid, we have the set date, so people can kind of mark their calendars when they see that. And we're getting very close now. So got pretty much a working version up on a test net now. I've been playing around with a little bit. And just kind of adding some final touches there. We need to send the code through some sort of audit here, just to make sure nobody's getting rugged. But yeah, that's we are getting to the end of the closer to the finish line here. So yeah, coming up. I guess consider this the teaser of the upcoming teaser, but just know that we're working hard behind the scenes, and hopefully, gonna have all you guys are gonna have pixels in your wallet soon. So stay stoked, doggos.
We love the LLC.
Soon TM.
Soon TM.
Love
Yeah,
it.
soon TM. I might as well have just said soon TM, but very soon TM.
All
Yeah,
right.
I think one other update was, I think if you people been around listening on calls, heard Elliot from Fast Food Friends talk recently, was very soon we're going to be coming out with a collaboration with Fast Food Friends on some dope NFTs. So stay tuned for that very soon. TM for more information.
Soon TM. That's the thing. All this soon TM is going to hit at once, and people aren't going to see it coming. A lot of soon TM in the pipeline right now.
Hockey sticks, baby. Okay, so we're going to a very, very interesting part of today's conversation. Is everybody ready for Paco?
Paco.
Yes, sir.
Paco.
Yes, sir. Give it
Man.
up.
Yeah, guys, you hype yourself too much. Come on.
I mean, it's underhyped, if you're asking. I mean, so guys, like Paco will be exhibiting a wonderful presentation on memes, symbols, governance, and why it's important to participate in projects such as this one. But yeah, I'll leave it up to him to explain everything he will be talking about. Paco, let's go.
Yeah, just before I start, I want to say that because I see a lot of excitement about the Hype project in the chat, and I just want to reiterate that we will have a week to discuss this, to share everything that wasn't shared in this 30-minute presentation with you guys before we do the snapshot. We learned from Anubis not to make surprise snapshots out of nowhere. So yeah, please keep that in mind, that we will have time to show everything, because the team has interviewed more than 20 different marketing teams, and they've really put thought into which is the most suited one. They've weighted the pros and cons, and they've ultimately decided that this would be the best choice, right? And now we are presenting it to you guys, and yeah, it's gonna take some time for everyone to fully understand what they're gonna do, how they're gonna work, and so on and so on. So yeah, so because I didn't want to just start the presentation on a philosophical topic like I'm gonna present when everyone is thinking about the Hype project. Yeah, so anyways, that being said, I hope everyone is feeling a bit of curious and open-minded for this presentation. Now, just tell me if the screen shares. Come on, I tested it today.
It's beautiful, man.
Does it load?
Still loading.
Okay. I'm gonna wait 2 minutes, then or a minute, or try something else. Shut the fuck up, JK. It's gonna work. Is it loading? Okay. Pray in the chat, guys.
Still looks like loading screen for me.
Okay, let me try.
Oh no. Paco.
Okay, can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, that's the easy part. Now, can you guys hear me well, or do I sound like a robot?
A bit, but I think it's manageable.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Damn it. Well, just tell me to stop if if the voice starts to
Actually,
sound.
I think you sound quite good.
Yeah,
you're
no,
fine.
it's okay.
Okay. Okay, let's begin. All right. Can you see this screen now?
Yeah.
All right. So,
Beautiful.
we everyone here really increased the expectations for this, and who knows, maybe you guys will like it. But yeah, this is just a personal experiment to see if you guys like talks like this, that maybe we could start doing every week about topics like NFTs, the metaverse, just memes in general, history of I can make comparisons between digital memes and ancient memes from ancient civilizations and cultures and things like that. Or I guess it's gonna be a failure, and we're just gonna continue with our lives. So yeah, but this presentation I wanted to make it more of a summary, I guess, or an overview of the DOG project and the Doge NFT in general, and sort of talk about where this project stands from a historical perspective, what narratives does it place itself into in our world full of narratives, and how can you be a part of it, and why should you care about DOG and the Doge NFT? Yeah, so where do we start? But to answer a question like this, we start at the core of everything: memes. So my definition of memes is a little bit different from the mainstream definition of memes, which is just funny pictures of things. But the actual definition of memes, which is used in literature and philosophy and sociology, is more like shared cultural symbols that spread and ideas that spread from person to person. And I'll go a little bit deeper into that by expanding that we as humans are born with symbols or patterns of behavior. Wait, just just let me take a breath. I guess I'm talking too fast. I haven't run in a long time, so yeah. Yeah. So what I was trying to say was that
You're doing great, Paco. We're loving it. The
Yeah.
chat's blowing up. They're loving it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's just the breath. You guys, I'm just gonna start talking more slowly. So, yeah. Every person is sort of born with a way to view the world. There are certain patterns that have existed from, millions of years in the world and have sort of, evolved together with our biology. So memes are more like ways to understand our world. And usually in ancient cultures, memes would present themselves as myths, legends, religions, and all of these sort of come from very deep, subconscious, collective symbols that we all share between all cultures. So you could, try to research some Mayan civilization and what myths and legends they were using, and compare it with some civilization from the other side of the world, and you would see some similarities that are, as an objective person, you would assume that they were just they would have shared some culture, because they would have very similar ideas in their mythology, even though they never met each other. So the question is, how does that work? How do similar ideas and motives appear between different people and civilizations that never saw each other, never heard of each other, yet they sort of yet their mythology is built on top of the same axioms as any other civilization that has existed since the start of humanity. And that is because, again, we have inherent symbols, a way to view our world that we project onto our outside world to understand it better. So that being said, the same thing is happening that has always been happening, since the beginning of history with the digital world. We're entering, a new place. The digital world is a real place, and all of the symbols that have always existed with us are now projected onto this new environment. And we share our new language, our new myths have become these memes and different copy pastas. And these are our new stories and mythologies that help us sort of exist in this jungle, digital jungle. And yeah, so to reiterate on that topic, so where some people would see just a dog, just a picture of a dog, the fact that it has seen the virality it has had, and on a global level for almost a decade, shows that there is some symbol, some collective truth that people can just relate to for it to exist that long, and I think dismissing it as just a picture of a dog is very, very short-sighted. This level of virality is probably greater than some of the greatest myths and legends from ancient cultures that we've seen. And I would say that's very impressive. So let me start with a bit of a thought experiment to just reiterate the idea of symbols. So let's look at the lion emoji, for example. It literally doesn't look like anything. It's just a circle with two circles. It doesn't exist in real life. Nothing like this exists in real life. So how can we intuitively just look at it and intuitively see a lion?
Yes.
How does that work, right? The picture below, every person, no matter his language, his ethnicity, from every culture in the history of time, will understand the second image of two person arguing without you would never see something like this, these perfect shapes in the real world, yet we just understand what they mean because they represent some symbols that we are born with to understand the world. And yeah, so that being said, let's compare let's try to understand memes like Doge from a more symbolic perspective. And let's compare it to a meme, a very viral meme, like the Mona Lisa, for example. I believe, and I have reasons to believe that the Mona Lisa and Doge share similar symbols. I mean, it doesn't take much to just look at them and feel that they have the same vibe, the same look, the same hand positioning. And to consider that both of these images have been, have seen the virality that, they've seen, and both have appeared in a period of history where sort of there was a new renaissance of thinking in art, culture, philosophy, like the humanist renaissance and of course the digital renaissance we find ourselves in right now. So yeah, like, is it a coincidence that specifically these two images have seen the amount of popularity, or is there something behind both of them that is extremely relatable to a person viewing them? Because both of these images have been used as sort of to make parodies. You would see people that make parodies of the Mona Lisa, and it's eerily similar to how people try to portray Doge and use this character to represent themselves and different ideas. And yeah, so how does this all relate to the dog project, right? That's the question everyone is asking. Now, I believe that this project is, can someone just mute themselves, please? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, we got him, Paco. Give me a sec.
Yeah, just shoot him down.
I'll unleash the hounds. Here we go. Found them.
Okay. Yeah. So I believe that this project is the next step, or has the potential to be the next step of evolution of memes, specifically memes for our digital world. Simply because I imagine it as, how every civilization before has had, hundreds of or even thousands of years of different folklore and tribal myths that sort of culminated into a complete structure of the world that they use to, build their immense civilizations. I believe that the same thing is happening right now, where Web3 technology is going to allow us to structure our digital world in a way that is very similar to how big civilizations came about. So I imagine it as this: if we have this symbol, right? We can't explain it. I can't explain it. It's incredibly hard to portray it, but it is captured in this Doge meme, right? In this picture of a funny yellow dog. Then with NFT, when you make it into an NFT, we sort of give it a body. Now we can capture that concept, that symbol, and use it for things like fractionalize it into tokens, which sort of spread that symbol to the hand of every single person and allow for a whole, not just the ability for people to literally own a part of this symbol, but also provide the needed infrastructure, the needed economy and community to sort of build things on top of all of this. And that's my understanding of the dog is backed message, that I guess we are the clowns here, holding our Doge pixels, are sort of supported by all of this culture that's below us, and that's always sort of pushing us into new narratives. And so what would be the advantage to a meme coin that's backed and versus a meme coin that isn't? And I took inspiration from the Omis with the prisoner's dilemma, where I imagine just a random meme coin which no one cares about, which has no culture, which just appeared out of nowhere. It's like someone making out a story with zero relatability to history and culture, and it sort of creates this zero-sum environment where you either dump or get dumped on, and no one really cares about it. Versus a project like Dog, a project like the Doge NFT, where no matter what happens, as long as you build and contribute to the project itself, you basically cannot lose. And I'm not talking about monetarily. Of course, I want to make sure that I'm clear on this. There are great risks that come with a monetary investment, but I'm talking more of a I guess in a meaningful way. You won't lose any time. The time that you put in here will be used in the future when different memers and Doge fans finally understand what NFTs are, are used to the metaverse environment. They would want a place to be, and they most likely would use what you've built some months or years before that. So nothing you do here will go to waste. And I guess that's where what I understand by the message in Doge we trust. So you might be asking, where are we going exactly? Why am I talking this about an upcoming renaissance and a change in how people think and view things? So I'm not gonna go in full detail about the metaverse, but I wanna help you imagine a place, right, where the digital world is more integrated with our real world, where we have, greater amount of interaction between each other. It's easier to communicate and, be a part of projects we care about and actually sustain ourselves. And, you could ask questions like, what it would look like, what the level of interaction it would be, what would, the daily habit or I guess schedule of a person would look like. And, while that's all hard to answer, I can basically guarantee that it would be the same thing that it has always been since, the beginning of history, that we would have tribal communities that have shared myths and legends that care about each other and build things. And I think the Doge place in this could potentially be a bridge between all these different little communities that form, because it sort of the meme itself has become a center for all these different narratives that are appearing. Art, culture, NFTs, DAOs, tokens, Doge, memes, metaverse, all of these narratives sort of lead into this project. And Doge itself as a meme, I don't know how many, we could have a detailed presentation just about that, about the history of Doge, but Doge itself as a meme has always been a trend settler. It has always, been the first to set the trends for new memes, for new genres of memes. And of course, that includes Dogecoin even, which has set, again, the Doge serving as a trend settler for meme coins. And I think, we as a team are very much trying to, live up to what Doge has always been, a trend settler. And, we've seen the metaverse coins, I guess how they call it, Sand Mana, pump a lot right now. And, I think that should be a message for all of you that, that we're, shifting to a way of thinking about the digital world as a part of our reality, as an actual place that we can be. And, I encourage everyone to ask themselves, once that shift in perspective and occurs, what would just daily interactions between people look like? How would they value memes, things that basically are produced every single day on the internet? And, and I think that Doge may not, what's the chance of Doge being the center of all of this, I guess, culture, you could call it, in the metaverse? I would say much more likely than unlikely, but at the very least, I imagine it playing the same role as the Mona Lisa of today, where, you don't really think about or use the Mona Lisa every day, but it's still an extremely valuable piece of history and culture that has had, its reach into. It's probably the most popular painting in the entire world. Of course, soon to be overtaken by Doge in popularity, at least, especially with Dogecoin. And yeah, so now we've come all the way from symbols, to memes, to Web3, to the metaverse. And we find ourselves, I imagine, at this very pivotal moment where, every one of us here can choose to be a part of something that is growing and that is just going to continue to grow. And yeah, I would encourage everyone here to just try to think beyond and set the trends, just like Doge has been setting the trends since its inception, maybe. And you have the support not only of great people that form the team itself, but also, as I hope to have shown you, years of culture. So yeah, anything that you decide to do or that you think you can help, hopefully you can now see that it's going to building up a digital cultural monolith, monolith that is Doge itself. We have the meme, and I think we have the responsibility to take care of it and make sure it's protected from misuse so that future generations, and I don't mean like our kids, but more like next Bitcoin cycle, can continue to build upon it. Because the interest in memes and in turn Doge isn't going away. It's only memes are just gonna become a bigger and bigger part of our world. And I think once people understand that they can capture the value of culture, they would see, or at least look for places to build and be themselves. And I think Doge can offer a place, a home for all the memers, and really set the new narratives for this metaverse. So yeah, the Doge DAO is it's a very new organization, and I think you know how they say Rome wasn't built in a day. I would rephrase it as Rome wasn't built in any single day. There wasn't a day where Rome just started existing and the day before there wasn't Rome. Rome was a process that has been built for years or even centuries, and I think that's the way I would describe the DAO or the Doge DAO that we're forming as a process that will hopefully become something beautiful. And yeah, to finish all of this, yeah, so I would encourage everyone to to discuss the proposals that we're going to propose next week, and make sure to really vote, because I think by holding a pixel from this NFT, you sort of hold the future of where memes are going to go, and in the metaverse. And yeah, so be aware of the snapshot next week. You just have to connect your wallet. It doesn't take any gas. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. Yeah, do you guys want to have a discussion now? It doesn't have to be about the presentation itself. Maybe we could, if anyone has any questions, even about Hype or Anubis or Snoop, I thought we can have a discussion now. Yeah. So yeah, that's everything from me.
Incredible, Paco. Loved it.
Yeah, what was it? Too much? Too deep? Too Schizo?
Just the perfect amount.
We need the Paco podcast, dude. You have the right mind for it. Like extremely nuanced, like
I tried
long
to
form stuff. When is the Paco podcast coming out, dude?
Thanks, man. Yeah, I tried to topic. I believe to be complex in just one 30-minute presentation. So, yeah, I don't know. I hope it wasn't too confusing or too, deep, I guess, for you guys. And I hope you at least, gained a bit of a new perspective on, our digital and internet culture. And yeah, because I think a lot of people sort of just think of their their life as only in the real world, where I think they don't value internet culture enough as much as I guess things that are happening in the real life. But yeah, I think that I guess thinking is going to shift as we sort of link the real world and the digital world into one simultaneous world that we would call the metaverse. So yeah, again, I don't want to start another presentation. So any questions?
Well, I keep telling Paco to submit a Bark Tank proposal for a legitimate podcast setup. So offer still stands to
Submit it.
submit it. Or at least
Also,
a laptop.
Paco, I think I might have missed the part in there where you specified wind moon, because I do think that was part of what you were saying.
I mean, I think I don't think there was a culture or I guess a civilization or whatever in human history that could accurately predict when are things going to happen exactly. But I think all of them, if you at least try to look at them and look at their literature, sort of predicted upcoming narratives and ways that we're going to live our world before they actually happened. But I don't think any of them, set the date. And at least for me, I don't think the date matters a lot.
Soon, TM.
Yeah, soon TM. Okay. Should I say? Yeah, no.
No, I'm just kidding. That was awesome, dude. We appreciate you. A lot of love going on in the chat right now. You should go soak it up.
Oh, yeah. Hey guys, don't spam me. We love you, Paco. Start spamming. Dog is back. Come on. I'm just a part of all this.
Paco, do you think that the dawn of meme coins finally peels back the layers that all narratives are memes, and really now we're just in our most distilled form to build an empire off of? I'd like to hear more about that.
Well, it's very interesting because I my crypto story, I guess, is pretty much very different from most people, I would assume, because I'm not much of a finance guy. I never money in general. I sort of just wrote things and read literature and psychology, and suddenly I hear last year, December 2020, I hear that there is this coin, right, and it has this Doge on it, and it immediately sort of, I guess, sparked what could be possible with such technology, because till then I just heard about Bitcoin, not anything. Just in 2017 I heard about it. I was still in high school, and I didn't really care much about it. I thought it just probably a scam. But yeah, the fact that it didn't, last year 2020 when I heard about it, and I heard about it through Dogecoin, I was really surprised that Bitcoin is still alive. It told me that for something to just be there for years is very, very impressive, especially for the internet, where things just exist and for a month max. And the fact that you could have a coin and put a Doge on it or a meme on it, just I guess started all of this research for me. Well, which is a cool how can I say it, start story, I guess, because I'm here now where I guess the Doge NFT is even a more accurate representation of Dogecoin. Yeah, so I forgot your question actually. What did you ask me? Do you think that? Yeah, okay. So I think that all these communities that we see today aren't really communities, and I've always by aren't really communities, I mean that they aren't very interactive. You sort of I don't know, you go to a Reddit community in quotations and you don't know anyone there. You don't know, you can't get in touch with the culture. You just watch some posts of things, and that always bothered me about the internet. But with technologies such as tokenization, you can not only how can I say this, create a sort of incentive to be a part of this community, a monetary incentive, but also I guess it's sort of it's very similar to how cities actually function, like real life cities. And there was this paper by this guy. I can search it if you guys want. Who said, before the internet became a thing, he basically talked about how you only need 1,000 true funds in this new digital superhighway, as they called it. And if you think about it, all you need, there were cities before that barely had any people there, like maybe 750 to 1,000, yet they were fully functioning cities. And now we have, communities in quotations with hundreds of thousands of people, and they, they sort of can't exist because there is just no economy there to keep a community, I guess. And with tokenization comes, just I don't know. I don't know the exact implications of this yet, but I'm willing to. I'm very curious to learn how this could be used, because the fact that you can just capture an idea, even like with an NFT, just capturing a concept, something that doesn't exist, and creating it, making it tangible. You can actually touch the NFT or like feel that you own it. And everybody that owns an NFT probably feels like that from in this call. And that concept is just yeah, it's insane. And yeah, to just summarize, because I'm getting off track again. I guess the FAQ wasn't a good idea because I can just talk for days. Yeah, yeah. In the future, I imagine this tokenized communities, very niche communities about any topic. It could be a song, it could be a writer, it could be I don't know, a streamer or a YouTuber, or I guess there won't be exactly YouTube, something, a person, right? And they wouldn't be as you imagine them today. There wouldn't be content. It would be more interactive content where the community itself, I guess to go from the YouTube example, the subscribers or the viewers itself are the ones who also are providing. It's sort of a fully functional digital city, not a place exactly, although you can call it a place, just not in a physical sense. And yeah, and yeah, just the fact that it only takes just a couple people to, I guess, build a huge empire, and especially on the internet. And I think the fact that we can capture the value that communities are creating with the infrastructure that we have now from Web2 is it's very unfortunate, but I think there are very smart and passionate people that are working, redefine what is possible here. It would be really imagine every one of you right now could, instead of just me talking to some usernames on my phone from a screen, we could actually see each other. I could make some holograms or express my ideas by visual. And not only that, you could also receive tokens just from listening to me, and just by because you are providing value. Even if you're here and you're listening to us talk about Doge, you're still providing value to the community as a person. So again, guys, you should start just telling me to stop talking.
Yeah, token gated Paco podcast seems pretty dope.
I feel bad that I went on a rant. Your questions. I guess I want to say, in the future we're not gonna need much people to build self-functioning communities. So I mean, just a small community like ours, literally everyone that is here, would be enough to make it a self-functioning thing. Just like a city doesn't need a lot of people. That's I guess the data. Okay. No.
Yeah, these are the exciting times where we have like such a core nucleus of the community, or a core nucleus of people that are going to back a bigger community down the road. So I think these quote unquote sermons really kind of align us in what are. Oh no, did Paco die?
Yeah, my battery fell.
Oh yeah. But yeah, just like super bullish on just the community we're building, like the apostles that kind of spread the words and the gospel of Doge that even you've just been able to clearly define is just I'm super excited, especially not just for the future of memes, but the future of tokenized memes and fractionalized memes. So
exactly, I think we're one of the, if not the community right now that is sort of going to set the I guess the path forward of how tokenized communities based around cultural units like Doge, for example, which is a huge deal, right, would function. And yeah, step by step, we'll get there, especially with a team like Pleaser. Like everyone has been great. I mean, you guys don't listen in on the dev calls. I don't want to spread too much alpha here, but you're gonna be surprised how professional everyone is, and more importantly, how just passionate about making this project a reality for everyone. I mean, it's funny. I'm just happy to be a part of it all, and try to be the trendsetter, right? Try to be the first. We as a community, we should try to be the first who set the new narratives, and that's kind of going to be hard, of course, and that's also going to be very rewarding if it happens, right? And yeah, I mean, we can talk for days, so when exactly, how do we finish this now?
I mean, we could finish it here. I would like to know, there was a question that I posted in the Mount Olympus channel a couple of days ago about what the community would like to also see throughout the week. I mean, we do the weekly community call, but we can also do some other fun things if we want to keep the Paco sermon after community calls, or make it a different a different day. Other things were like meme reviews, trivia nights, movie nights, anything. I just want to start fielding more suggestions in the community involvement and engagement, because I think a lot of people have great ideas. But if we're going to make Discord like the birth of the community and the message, we want to lean on you guys to give us suggestions on how to really make the server fun, and just the type of people who've stuck around with us this far, how we can be an even tighter community, so that we're on the same page and can spread the message far and wide. So but yeah, I mean, we can end it there. I mean, I don't know how to end it after what Paco just said, but
just start chanting Paco,
right.
Paco.
No. I guess I'm just finding the situation funny. As we move forward, just as Zona said, I think the goal is going to be, increase decentralization, but not in the sense that we're just gonna let anyone do whatever he wants, but that the core team, right, is going to be more fluid. So if you guys, ever are on a vacation, right, and you're a Doge pixel holder, and you have some free time, maybe you could, and you just want to add some value to the community, right? You could just decide to, for 3 weeks, every one of you guys, I think, has the talent in something, or some way that he wants, or he or she could help, even if it's just spreading the message about Dog. All these things really do add value, and hopefully as we grow, this value could be returned back to you for contributing, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, I mean, with better technology, that could also be possible, where even just messaging regularly in the Discord chat could be, or I guess incentivized or rewarded. Yeah, so that's how I imagine. If you're gonna talk about the Doge DAO itself right now, yeah, I think you guys got what I was trying to say, right? So if you wanna help, it won't go to nothing. I guess that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
100%.
for a lot of people, the this snapshot governance is new, especially for anyone who's been doing just the pure like meme coin holder. So this first step in being able to give the voice back to the pixel holders is something that we really want to value. So it's something that goes further than just a suggestion, in a Discord channel, but you can actually put your pixels, to work. So this was a great first step. For a lot of people, this is their first step in a DAO. And we just as we continue to grow and continue to automate processes and start to mature as a community, things will start to get more and more decentralized, where the goal is for the NFT to own itself. So we're super excited and just love the first step we've been doing. Regardless if the proposals have been well received or not, it's the fact that the community has the power to to be able to make the decision is again something that we're excited about, regardless of how the community reacts.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's all progress. It's all progress. We're learning together, working together with a strong vision, and many more Paco sermons to come.
Yeah, I mean, I can invite some friends too. Yeah, they're also interested in the same topics. I mean, we could have a discussion.
For some people here, the more schizo, the better.
Yeah, I would love for us to just go fully schizophrenic, and everyone in crypto Twitter would know us as the Dog Schizo pack. That we think this Doge is going to become this I guess metaverse god. Yeah. So that would be funny. Yeah. So I really need to go to bed. So
Yeah. Sleep well, friend. Thanks for your time. This has now been the longest call we've ever had, because we've never officially said that the community call was ended and the after party started. So for anyone who's stuck or stayed around this long, yeah, thank you. And it also gave you a better chance to you get the POAP that's dropping, because I never ended the POAP listening event either. So just stay tuned. I'll go ahead and end the event now, so that the I mean the DGen event. Sorry, I'm going to end the DGen event so that the bot can DM you. But this call can still stay on for as long as anybody wants to talk.
Yeah, I have one more question. So, did you guys do you want to make it like a regular show where maybe once a week I can make a presentation on some topic, and then we can maybe discuss it after that? I guess if we have the community calls on Thursday, maybe another day could be reserved for. Yeah. Okay. Great asset, Bert. Yeah, it would be better when I have, when I can go into more detail on a specific topic. It would be easier to understand, I guess, instead of just mashing everything together. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go to bed now. It's 12 where I am.
Thank you staying up so late, Paco. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. It was fun. It was fun, sharing these ideas with all of you. Good night.
Good night, friend.
GN. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Much love. Woof.
Woof woof.